managing life can be really challenging. It can get overwhelming and chaotic. We got work responsibilities, we got social responsibilities, we've got this task and this thing to do, that event to go to. Not to mention, where did we leave our keys? Where did we put our wallet? I can't remember. Life just gets overwhelming really quickly. Now, if you add ADHD into the mix, it can become even more overwhelming. And in today's video, I want to share with you 5 ways you can begin using AI today to improve your daily functioning, especially if you have ADHD. Let's jump right into it. All right, so before we get into these 5 different ways you can use AI, let me at least introduce myself. If you've not been here before, my name is Matt. I'm a therapist in private practice. I own a group practice located in New York City, but serving clients all throughout the state of New York because that's where we're licensed. It is called PRGRS Therapy, stylized as PRGRS, and we specialize in working with adults with ADHD. And if you're interested in working with us or learning more about our services, you can click the link down below to schedule a free call or just check out our website. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. I want you to remember that it's not so much about the AI being the next best thing or any sort of cure. It's nothing like that. What we're really trying to do is externalize the executive functions that are impacted by ADHD. So for example, a lot of people with ADHD struggle with working memory. So some of the things we're going to talk about today help externalize memory, right? So it's really just another tool that we can use to improve our lives, right? And that is how we want to look at it. So let's jump right into the tips. All right, so the first one is to integrate your calendar with the AI tool. Now, a lot of AI tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Google Gemini, they now have calendar integrations. So your personal work or your whatever calendar you have can now integrate right into these tools. So what does that mean? That now means that these AI tools can now interact with your calendar. It can analyze the spots on it. It can give you suggestions about where to put things. It can help you understand what you have to do. And so there's a couple ways I encourage people to think about using their calendar with AI. The first one is to allow AI to suggest where you can put certain tasks. So what you might do is go into ChatGPT and say, hey, I have these 5 things to do this week. Can you look at my calendar and see where they might fit best? And then what ChatGPT will do, or whatever platform you're using, will check out your calendar, they'll see where you have empty spots, and it will make some suggestions. Is it gonna be perfect? No, but it's gonna be a really good starting point to help us get things right into the calendar. And I know some of these tools are now able to create events in the calendar with a simple prompt. I think Gemini might be doing that, right? But that'll start coming out hopefully soon. The other way we can use AI and calendars is by asking the AI to give us an estimate of how long something might take. If you're dealing with ADHD, then you know that estimating time can be fairly challenging. We think that that car ride is going to take 10 minutes, but it takes 40. That assignment is going to take 20 minutes, but it takes 7 hours, right? Estimating time can be very hard for people with ADHD. And so what you can do is you can hop into the AI tool and you can say, hey, how long do you think this thing will take? And it will give you an estimate. It might not be perfect, but it will give you something relatively decent that you can work with. And then you can say, okay, where do you think this can fit on my calendar, considering what blocks I have free? And it will make the suggestion. The next way you can use AI to really help with ADHD is by having it break down large tasks or projects into smaller chunks. Oftentimes, the overwhelm of a big task or a big project leads to anxiety and procrastination. Let's say, for example, you get a big work project and you have about 3 months to redo a website. I don't know, hypothetical, right? And you might sit down and think, wow, I've got 3 months. Where do I even start with a task like that? And so then what we can do is take all the details that we have about the project, put them into the AI software of choice, and have it break it down into smaller chunks with a proposed timeline. Now, again, will this be perfect? Absolutely not. But will it give us a good starting point? Yes. And this is exactly what we need to at least get started. And once we get started, procrastination is not nearly as big of a deal. Because why? Well, of course, we got started, so we're not procrastinating anymore. This next tool is one of my favorites, and it's definitely underrated, and a lot of people actually don't know about it. But there's an AI tool called NotebookLM. I believe it was purchased by Google. Now, what NotebookLM does is it can take different types of content, whether it be PDFs or articles or YouTube videos, all sorts of things, and it turns it into an AI podcast between 2 people. It honestly sounds incredibly real. But why is this helpful? So a lot of folks with ADHD have a hard time reading because of concentration and focus. And so if there's a lot of things they have to read for a project or a report or something like that, it can be really, really difficult and really time consuming. So what we can do is we can hop into NotebookLM, we can put all of the content we need to in there, and it will generate an audio podcast that we can then listen to. And for a lot of people, this is a good alternative for learning. And this is super helpful and saves a ton of time for those who struggle with reading. And so another way we can use AI is through dictation tools. So there's a lot of tools out there that allow you to speak kind of your chaotic thoughts or your kind of jumbled ideas into the AI, and it will generate some other type of document out of that, whether it be a task list or an email, or even just a more organized sheet that takes your thoughts that were chaotic and makes it a bit more organized. Now, this is really, really helpful for those who might have ideas and they forget them really quickly. Maybe you're out somewhere and you say, oh my gosh, I don't want to forget this. Or maybe you have an email you know you need to draft, but yeah, it's hard to do. So you just say it out loud and then it kind of creates the first draft of the email. Or maybe you just have a ton to do this week, and so you just speak it all into the AI and then it spits out a task list for you for that week. And there's a whole bunch of different tools. And I'm not really bought into any single app. It's really what you think works for you. But a couple that I've heard about are Super Whisper, VoicePal, Voice Inc. Claude and ChatGPT all have voice features as well. But essentially, you just need to find a tool that can allow you to dictate into the software. Oh yes, and this is not necessarily AI really, but you can use good old Siri and Alexa to actually create tasks and reminders for you. So let's say you need to remember to buy bread at the store later. You can say, hey Siri, and then have Siri put that into a reminder for you that pops up at 2 p.m. or whatever the case may be. Now this is one that you might already be using, but I do find a lot of people are underutilizing Siri and Alexa for these task management, for these kind of reminders. Really what we want to do is externalize that executive function. Another way we can use AI to really help manage our ADHD is by summarizing and organizing the chaos. For many people, that chaos lives on their inbox, perhaps in their calendar, their to-do list. And like I said earlier, a lot of these tools now integrate with our inboxes, our calendars. And so what you can do is actually hook up your inbox to one of the tools, and then you can say, hey, can you summarize all the things I need to do this week? Or hey, can you read through all my emails from the last 2 weeks and let me know what the important things are I need to remember? And this can be really, really helpful. And at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is take the chaos, put it into the AI, and have it spit out something slightly more organized, more palatable, more usable, right? And this can save a ton of time, be a really great starting point. I do find that the inbox feature is really, really good, having it spit out a to-do list based off your inbox, right? But it doesn't have to just be limited to your inbox or your calendar, right? It could be a brain dump that you've written out, or it could be just a big document that you've been writing and you want it to be more organized. And beyond having it come out just more organized, you can also ask it to prioritize for you. So you can share a little bit about each task or what your time constraints are or what's important to you. And then the AI can go ahead and give you some sort of prioritization as well. Really, really cool, really, really helpful. Great starting point. So at the end of the day, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found it useful. This is in no way any sort of legal or clinical advice. This video is made for educational purposes only. If you're interested in working with our practice or learning more about us, there's a link down below to our website where you can also book a free consultation. We would love to hear from you. But until the next time, we'll see you in the next video.